Hello, Ryan here with another episode of Try My Darling, and this episode I am playing Batman Returns on SNES, and I'm playing specifically on the SupaRetron HD from Hyperkin, which I recently acquired, and I've been trying out some games and playing some carts, and yeah, this is Batman Returns on the SNES. So, this game is a brawler, kind of at like the tail end of Konami's kind of reign as making this style of game. I feel like it's not really as revered as some of their other brawlers, like the Ninja Turtles games and X-Men Arcade and the Simpsons arcade game. And I think that could be possibly because, this came towards the end of the popularity of the brawler. And also, it's kind of based on a movie that maybe not a lot of people love. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Batman Returns. It's maybe my favorite Christmas movie, and it's probably actually my second favorite Batman movie after the Mask of the Phantasm, the animated series film, which I just adore. But yeah, I don't know. I like this movie a lot, and I like this game a lot. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to change some of the options, make it a little easier on myself. Got some Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman happening there. Yeah, I think this game has some pretty great digitized images here, and also just like this scene right here is like so incredible. Like that blew me away the first time I played this game, like actually around when it came out. Yeah, I feel like the game totally captures the look of the Burton film. It has that like total like Art Deco style to it, and the music as well, I think totally nails like the Danny Elfman score. But it's kind of it's a pretty simple brawler. There's not too much in the way of like new mechanics or anything. You do have your batarang here that you can throw to kind of stun enemies across the screen, but you also have this your grappling gun sort of thing, which is pretty cool. But other than that, you're mostly just punching. You do have a block to kind of minimize damage. Can be helpful. I love this music so much. Like, it's just the combination of like the Elfman inspired score, and this is kind of cool. Some of the different grappling attacks you can do, and like slamming guys into the walls. But yeah, I love the, I think it's just a perfect storm for the soundtrack of like an already really great score to kind of be inspired by, and then obviously like Konami was just killing it in the sound department in this era, and then also like I'm such a huge fan of the SNES sound chip, so that makes it even better. So you also, this is probably a good time to use one of these. You have, they're called test tubes. Not really sure what the deal is with that. But yeah, it's like you have a few of those, and they're screen clearing attacks. Look at how cool that is. I love the look of this game so much. So now it's like a more traditional side-scrolling type level. Like I'm on a single plane, and I have the batterings here, and I'm fighting Marilyn Manson from the Beautiful People video here. It's pretty exciting. This is definitely a more frantic style stage. The Christmas tree in the background is so cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I do think this game does kind of fall victim to the I guess the cardinal sin of like belt scroller brawlers and just sheer repetitiveness of the enemies. You know, it's just kind of the same clowns over and over again. But that's kind of the nature of, you know, this style of game. And no one really found a good solution to it back in the heyday. Even like the best games in the genre, like Streets of Rage 2, still have that issue. But you know, there's only so much the technology could handle, I guess, and you know, and the team size for creating all the different sprites and characters and stuff. Yeah, John and I were. Ooh, that's sensitive. John and I were talking this morning when we recorded the most recent Nintendo Fun Club podcast. We were talking about the film Black Panther and how it would be. It would have been really cool if there was like a video game tie-in for the film, and you know, not necessarily like a AAA style, like, you know, Arkham Asylum type game or anything like that, but more of just like a the example John used was The Mummy Demastered, like what Way Forward did with that tie-in game, just creating like a, you know, like a classic style. I haven't actually played Mummy Demastered. I just know like the art style. It's like a 16-bit art style that, you know, Way Forward does so well. But you know, actually, I think that game's like a Metroidvania, but doing like it would have been cool if there's like a Black Panther like brawler, you know, sort of like this, to tie in with the movie, something, you know, a couple hours long that costs like $15 or something. I mean, I guess kind of like what they did with the Scott Pilgrim game that was loosely tied to the movie. Yeah, I'd love to see more stuff like that. Like, I feel like, you know, superheroes are, and superhero films are so hot right now, and I think there is like a lot of nostalgia for this style of game. And you know, not everything needs to be you know, like a big AAA $60 blockbuster with you know, everything that comes with that. I feel like the Switch would be a really good platform for stuff like that. More like throwback style superhero games, but you know, it's crazy with how popular these films are, and same with Star Wars. Like, it's so crazy we just like don't really get games for them, especially considering, you know, in 8 and 16-bit era, like, even if they were like really loose tie-ins, there was still like, you know, you had Marvel and DC games coming out yearly, and, you know, a pretty steady stream of Star Wars games. So, yeah. I want to see that return. What am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, I guess. That's weird. Tall cloud. Oof. Hey, a new enemy. That's exciting. I love the way this game looks so much. It makes me so happy. Clowns in this game certainly do come in all shapes and sizes. Gonna use a test tube. Sometimes you just gotta. Well, that guy wasn't too tough. It's interesting that the quotes are like crosses. Interesting twist on the brawler staple of an elevator stage. I feel like there's always an elevator stage in brawlers. It's a neat twist on it. Tricky stuff here. Should know where this section's from. Yeah, it's something else that's interesting about bummer. Something else that's interesting about this game is the Super Nintendo version is totally different than the Genesis one, which the Genesis one might have actually been, the Genesis Batman Returns might have actually been developed by Sega. So yeah, that game's way different than this one. I guess in the same way the Genesis, the original Genesis Batman is very different than the original NES Batman by Sunsoft. But then both systems got, I believe, identical or at least similar versions of the Adventures of Batman and Robin. So it's interesting, just as far as licensing stuff goes. it starts me back for continuing. Oh, that's really kind, actually. I was kind of expecting to have to go back to the beginning of the stage. Nice. Kellerman is a tough cookie here. That was like a whole continue used on her. Not my best Batman skills. That scene in the movie is so weird. It's a really weird movie, but I still love it a lot. Penguins with rocket launchers. Heck of a thing. Interesting attempts at lighting and transparency effects here. Konami was definitely a developer that pushed the SNES tech ways. Pretty unexpected. There's a lot of Mode 7 in Konami's games, and a lot of just interesting transparency effects and stuff. Looking at Super Castlevania 4 and Contra 3. that here. No, not Catwoman again. Another Catwoman continue. I would love to see a Batman game that looked like this, but with like the Arkham series combat, with like all the counters and reversals. So, you know, I was just actually playing Super Double Dragon on the SNES, and that game has like an early kind of primitive counter system that actually weirdly made me think of the Arkham games. One continue left. Hopefully I can beat the penguin here. These test tubes definitely helped. That. He's actually not as tough as Catwoman. I mean, I'm still as anti-heroes, but not like. Well, I guess we'll wait and see how many lives actually it is. Okay, only 2 compared to like the 6 I lose in every Catwoman fight. So, a little bit better. Batmobile. This is so cool. I'm assuming this is mode 7 here, which is kind of similar to it. Maybe it's probably not at all similar. I shouldn't act like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to tech, but mode 7 always reminded me a lot of Sega's Super Scaler technology, used in stuff like Outrun and Super Hang-On and all that. But I don't know if it's even remotely the same thing. But that's the vibe I always got. Campaign van. It's ridiculous. It's tricky. God, I love that. I love that city in the background. It's so cool. Plot in this movie is so weird and so much weird stuff happens in it. I kind of love it. feel like I'm kind of running out of things to say about these these same clown enemies here. And there's the fire clown again. Yep. I do like the music in this stage. Platforming challenges in brawlers are seldom my favorite. Going all the way back to the original Double Dragon on the NES. Not a huge fan of platforming challenges in this style of game. They're not really made for them, so this whole jumping over the bar thing is feels a little bit off, but it looks like it might be over now. Hey, a new enemy. Oh, he's a boss. Is that organ grinder? There's a lot of damage there. Thanks. Looks like that's the end. No more continue.